Hello, welcome back for another Fire Force chapter review. I'm like a day late, but that doesn't matter. We still back at it. So we have today Fire Force chapter, was it 215 we're on? Yeah, 215. And overall, my thoughts on the chapter, it was a really solid chapter. Fire Force did what I like for Fire Force to do. And I'll get into that when the chapter actually comes. But started off, we have the cover page of Shimra and Sho and looking nice, perfectly colored and everything. Love the shadowing, love all that. But we get the anime announcement for chapter 2 in the summer. But anyway, on to the chapter at hand. I think it's called Ignition. Why isn't the chapter name anywhere? Okay, anyway, yeah, it's called Ignition. So pretty much we get Ferrari, Fenrir, I think it's his name, Fenrir. We have Fenrir, who after being cut by Sho, puts himself back together. Then at this point we have the explanation of his power, and I'll get into that later on. But so far for what we got right here, Fenrir's power, from what I was reading, and I was a little confused for two things. The science was throwing me off, and then his speech pattern was throwing me off. So I didn't know which to really understand. But from what I gathered, everything of course has a magnetic pull or gravitational pull, and he can loosen and tighten the gravitational pull between objects, from what I'm gathering. So he's pretty much, with his Adola burst, which I'll get into in just a second, he's able to lighten his body or increase the mass within his body, allowing for him to float. That's what I think, that's what I'm getting from it. I'm not too sure. I will have to do a few rereads of it to really understand. But overall, I still thought it was a clean power. I thought it was a great power. I thought it was a great explanation, even though I didn't really fully understand it. But the fact that it got explained some scientific way, I love Fire Force when it does that. So that's the reason I love Fire Force. When it comes to these powers, it's amazing. However, he did say that not only the pillars have the Adola burst, it's also, I forgot what these people are called, but they're like the backup knights, or like the hidden knights within the Ashen Knights. I forgot their official name, but you get what I'm saying. So this is very interesting at this point, because now we don't have only 8 pillars with the Adola burst. We now have 8 pillars plus, I think it's 6 of them in that group, if I'm not mistaken. 6 or 5 of them, and I would assume they all possess the Adola burst. So I wonder, why can he possess the Adola burst? There's a bunch of questions that come from that statement, but we'll just have to wait and see and find out what Okubo uses to explain that, because it doesn't make sense, or at least from what we've been told, we only have the pillars who can use the Adola burst. But now we have these new Ashen Knights, or hidden Ashen Knights, who also have this ability to use the Adola burst. Does that mean they can connect to the world of Adola? So I guess when we get to Adola, and I'm assuming we get to Adola, and we go inside the world, they're going to be there. But anyway, we move on from the chapter. We have Shimra falling, Ogun's going to catch him, and then Sho saves him, of course. And this part, I don't think people understand like attention to detail. And when I say this, it's simply because Ogun greeted Sho not how I was expecting. Because usually when these sort of things happen, people greet enemies that help each other, or well, they used to be enemies, but when you see them, they kind of helping the protagonist or helping you or whatever. They usually greet them with very negative energy. So I thought Ogun was gonna run up and try to fight Sho and everything. First of all, he would get clapped, but that's neither here nor there. But I thought he was gonna run up and try to fight Sho, but no. Ogun clearly understood from the situation that Sho was trying to help them. I'm like, oh, thank God, finally, people are smart. Like, people are smart. Or technically probably knew, no, because he would have said Sho. Because I was going to say he probably knew that was Sho who saved Shimmer. But no, he would have said Sho, and he didn't say Sho. He said just the Ashen Knight, or that Evangelist. And he didn't refer to him by Sho. So Ogun obviously knows of Sho, but he probably doesn't know what Sho looks like. But I'm glad that he didn't, oh my God, don't touch him and try to fight him and beat him up. I thought, because that would have been like, I was like, bro, I hate when like characters or like any character in media does that. It's like, you clearly just seen this man help him. Why are you trying to fight him? He's clearly on your side for this moment. But we move on in the chapter and pretty much get a bunch of action scenes from Kurono, which look amazing. And the art for this looks absolutely beautiful. And so we get Kurono chopping up the giant inferno at the sea, and pretty much the inferno turns into, I would assume, mist, dust, a residue. I don't really know what that is. Oh, okay, so I get it. I'm looking at it right now. It's just some big giant spot, and it pretty much is climbing the tower that just emerged from it. Then we have Fenrir. Then we have Fenrir on top of that tower that just, or pillar let me say, that just emerged, and that residue turned it all black. With that page being out the way, we get into the last page where Shinra just says where, and we have someone standing across from him, and we don't know who that person is. And so then we have the ending text that says the Titanic Inferno has been put to rest, but a mysterious turn of events has happened. Shinra finds himself in a sudden Adola link, but with who? Now, there's only two choices, simply because the designs. Well, actually, now that I'm looking at this, I think it's three. So, okay, so let me go through my thought process. It's either 1, Hamiya, 2, Inca, simply because the outfit. Those are the same baggy clothes that both of them two wear, and if you look at the footwear, that's also the same footwear that they wear as well. So it has to be one of those two. I think that would be the obvious or the general consensus. Now, the reason I have a third option is because of the smile. And simply because that smile or that facial design doesn't look like anyone I know so far. So I feel like we're gonna get introduced to a new character, or that might be, is it you? No, it can be Yuna. Oh no, his name is Yona. Yeah, Yona. But I have no idea who could this be besides like the obvious choice of Hamiya or Inca, because they're the only two in the Ashen Knights who wear those baggy garments. But however, the chapter is really good. I really enjoyed it. I love when Fire Force explained power, so that had me excited and very intrigued. Then we got a nice little cut down or fight at the end, so that was great. And then in the mystery that we was left with, and the cliffhanger that was left with at the end of the chapter, I thought was really good. So I give this chapter a really good high rating. But this is a really good chapter. I hope you all have enjoyed this review. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.